What's up, people? Wheelchair Bandit here. I am going to play some Xbox for you today. As you can see, I've got Halo Reach, you might be able to hear it. First of all, I'm just going to show you my setup. At the moment, I've got my laptop sitting here with YouTube. People sticking up for me, people being rude on my videos. Yeah, and I've got my PlayStation, Xbox, Astro headset. That's for the PS3. There's the amp for it there. I'm not going to connect up to my Xbox at the moment because it's far too much hassle. Look at the amount of wires I've got back there. And that's, I've got two sets of component cables for the HD PVR there. And I have to switch them over if I want to record on Xbox and stuff. So they're set up with Xbox at the moment. I'm going to record some Halo for you. So the PVR is there, which is connected to my laptop. And the amp, my external hard drive underneath. PS3, lots more wires connecting everything. Move controllers, because I have that, and then my big TV and all my games, lots of games and Blu-rays, and the camera for Move. It's awesome. Oh yeah, and there's my Red Dead Redemption map, because you never know when you're going to need that. So yeah, this is the Xbox. This is how I play it. I need to use these FPS freaks. Hold on, I'll move this beer for you. Miller Genuine Draft, finest beer alive. I have to use these FPS freaks because they, I think they're really stiff. I find the stick's quite stiff, so I have to use them just to move it about. And I also have to balance a game underneath. Really, we've got Enslaved here for PS3. Awesome game. A lot of screen tearing though on the PS3, but it's an awesome game just the same. If I don't, I'll move that out of the way. If I don't rest the game underneath, when I'm trying to play, the controller lifts up like that or pushes around. And eventually I'm playing with the controller up here like that, and it's like impossible because it's rounded at the bottom like that, so it's just really weird and dodgy. So I have to have that underneath for it to balance and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up on top of the PS3, pointing down at my jewels so you can see exactly how I play Halo Reach, and I'll get that sorted for you. Good morning, sports fans. I've got another video for you. This time it's Call of Duty 4 on Xbox. As you can tell, it's not Halo 3 like the video before suggested. I was dying constantly, so I thought it'd be much better to show you a video where I am actually doing decent and getting kills. But it is Xbox, so I'm not going to do amazing. As you can see by the retarded way I'm playing. It's hilarious. I'm surprised people like don't laugh at these videos. It's like, oh my god, look at the way he plays. But so yeah. I'm finally managed to get this video rendered. It took a while figuring out how to do it. Bloody Sony Vegas. I don't like PCs. I ended up rendering this in the wrong format. It's got no sound, unfortunately. It's not in that good quality. It keeps jittering about. You see, it's all friggin' dodgy and whatever. But it's the only way I could get it to render. It wouldn't render otherwise. I'm gonna have to end up phoning Sony and see how they can do it. So yeah, this is the video. I finally got it up. It's not that good quality. I apologize for that, but that's not the point. The point is to listen to me, you know. And I'm not going to be talking about gameplay this time. It's not. I'd help if I could get words out and not just stupid noises. I saw a comment on my last video asking to hear my story, and I thought, okay. I have explained it before in the Junkyard video, if you've seen that. I've got a little bit of it on my profile, but I thought I would just go into it properly in depth for you guys. So here it is. This is the story of who and what I am. What I am, because I'm not a human. I'm a evil robot from... Oh, shut up, Ian. So anyway, as you can see, I'm in a wheelchair, paralyzed from the nipples, roughly the nipples, above the nipples. I can't feel my nipples, so just a bit higher. My upper chest, down. I can't feel or move anything below there, unfortunately, which can be a bummer, but you get used to it. Can't move my fingers whatsoever, hence the retarded way I'm playing. But I'm not a retard or anything. I don't have any brain damage. Just thought I'd get that out there. You might think I'm a bit slow. I'm not. I'm cool. I'm normal. I am awesome. Anyway, I'm 20 years old now, and it was 5 years ago when I was 15 that I broke my neck. It was actually in the middle of my standard grade exams. That's like the equivalent of your GCSEs, I think, for you English people. I don't know what they are in America. But the exams you sit when you're like 14, 15, or 15. So I was halfway through them. I'd done four, and I was actually meant to be studying from a music exam when I went out at night time and I broke my neck. But so I thought, I'm good at music. I don't need to study. So I ended up going out with friends, skateboarding about, and we decided to go in the bouncy castle. Now this bouncy castle comes to Bright Island every year for a few couple of months with a fair. There's a fair that comes every year, and it's not that great, but it's fun to hang out at sometimes. When you're a kid, it's good, but when you get older, you realise it's just crappy shows. So we went on the bouncy castle and we were just mucking about as kids do when you're about 15. You kind of wrestle or whatever. Um, so we were just doing that, pissing about, and I got tired, so I sat down, cross-legged on near the edge, not on the edge, but on the bouncy castle, talking to my other friend who was sitting on the bench next to the bouncy castle. And then this my other friend, there was three of us. He was on the bouncy castle behind me, jumping about, and he thought it'd be cool to do like a front flip over me to and land in front of me. But now I don't grudge him at all for this. Don't you be thinking, oh my god, this guy's an asshole for doing this to you. He's not. He's a good guy, and it was a complete accident, a complete fluke, a complete mishap. He did not mean it whatsoever, and I don't grudge him for it. I don't feel bad. Well, I do feel bad, but I don't blame him at all for anything. I don't hold grudges in life, though if you hold grudges, you're only going to make yourself miserable, so yeah, it's completely not his fault, and I completely understand everything, and he understands how I feel. So we're all good, we're cool. But anyway, he sort of maybe misjudged it a little bit. He tried to do the front flip over my head, but he kind of landed right on top of me, you know? He landed right on my head, forcing my head down, dislocating the vertebrae in my spine. You know, C5, 6, that area. If you know about spinal columns, the C5, 6 is kind of high up. You've got different like numbers representing different vertebrae in your neck, and I broke mine at level C5, meaning anything below that doesn't get signal anymore from my brain because it completely crushed the spinal cord. So yeah, I'm paralyzed, and after that happened, I kind of knew straight away that something had happened because I heard, you know, when you're crunching, if you got an ice cube in your mouth and you crunch the ice cube, it was that noise, but coming from my neck and maybe a little bit louder, and it was scary. I ended up spending. They had to deflate the bouncy castle. I was sitting there, lying on there like a freaking tangled up jellyfish, and the ambulance came. My mum came and everything. She was in hysterics, and they couldn't get me on the spinal board, the big plastic stiff board. So they had to deflate the bouncy castle while I was on it. I'm lying there all mangled like some sort of crazy octopus, and the bouncy castle walls, I can see them coming in and the things deflating as I'm like sitting there, oh, get me up, I'm gonna die. And they managed to get me on it. They got me in the ambulance, and I had to drive all the way to Dunfermline. It's only a 20-minute car drive, but it took like 40 minutes because I had to drive so slow so as not to jerk me too much and maybe cause some more damage. So that whole journey, I was like, I'm gonna die, and I was crying, and I was, oh man, scared. I was literally scared for my life. And I'm lucky to be alive, man. Like, people do die from these sort of things. So I'm also lucky that I wasn't unconscious because they probably would have had to put a trachea in me, which is a tube in your neck. So I didn't have to get that. Luckily, a lot of people with my injury have big scars on their necks where they've had to get tubes, respirators put in. But I'm lucky my lungs are still strong. Um, so yeah, I got to the hospital, spent the first 6 weeks in intensive care. I had to get traction put on my head, which is like a metal bolt thing. They put metal bolts in inside of your head, literally screw them onto your skull, and attach weights to the end of it, which stretches your neck up so that they can like put it back into place. You know, if you dislocate a shoulder, they kind of have to force it back into place. Yeah, well, they have to do that with necks as well, but they have to stretch it up first so that it can like kind of pop back in. So they did that, and then they had to take bone from my hip and put it into my neck. So there's a big scar in front of my neck, where they've had to cut into that, and a big scar on the back of my neck. And so yeah, I spent the first 6 weeks there, and then the next like what 8 months just learning how to live. Literally, just learning how to brush my teeth, learning how to feed myself, just things like that. Learning how to use a fork, learning how to write, learning how to pick up a cup, how to pick up a piece of paper. You know, they didn't teach you how to play video games. I learned that by myself because I'm a clever boy. But yeah, it's just some people don't bother trying to learn, don't bother trying to be independent, and it's horrible to see that. There was a guy who was maybe a couple of years older than me, broke his neck, roughly the same injury, not the same injury because they're all different. Every injury is different. But he gave up. He was in an electric wheelchair where he could have easily managed a regular like mine. Mine's is a manual wheelchair. I hate electric wheelchairs. I have one, but I never use it because it's just horrible. I would rather struggle to get up a hill than being one of these fucking crippled mobiles. You look more disabled. You know what I mean? I'd rather look more able-bodied and look more independent. If you Not like I grudge being in a wheelchair. I'm not. I'm not unhappy about it. I mean, of course, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't wish to be in a wheelchair the rest of my life, but I am. What can I do about it? If I moan about it, nothing's going to happen. It's only going to make other people miserable. I know someone who's in a wheelchair and he just moans constantly. I'm not going to name any names, but he just complains about everything, and there's no point, man. You're only making other people miserable. Why bring other people down? Be happy. The way I see it, happiness is a choice. And I choose not to let things get me down. Sure, I get frustrated being unable to do things. I'm shit at Xbox. I'm shit at Halo. I can't do anything about that. I could just try, keep on trying. That's all you can do, man. If I drop something on the floor, sometimes I can't pick it up. What am I going to do? Keep trying. And if I really, really can't pick it up, I ask for help. But I just don't give up, man. Things like this is when you really learn about human survival. The will to just keep going is phenomenal. But so yeah, this was my story, and I hope that you take something good away from it. I don't want sympathy. I don't want people leaving in the comments, "Oh man, I feel so sorry for you." Like, okay, maybe you do feel sorry for me, but don't seriously. Just try and take something good away from it. Try and just relate it to your own life. Is there things you're struggling with? Get over, not get over it, I don't want to say that, but like try and get through it. Deal with it. Be happy. Choose to be happy. Don't choose to let things get you down. Don't choose to just, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but I think you understand where I'm coming from. Just take something good away from this. Don't sit there and say, "Oh man, I feel really horrible that you're in a wheelchair." I'm in a wheelchair. What are you gonna do about it? So I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm loving it. I love life, and I love making YouTube videos for you guys. You love me, don't you? Wow. Anyway, I realised that I've kind of run over a little bit. We're on like 11 minutes, so I'm going to round this up and just say goodbye. And thanks for listening to me ramble, and thanks for watching, and I'll have more videos for you guys. And bye!